Hello everybody, my name is Shill Skills and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Cave News. Today we have the future and destruction and just generally being petty all in today's episode of Nerd Cave News, so I really hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think about everything we talk about in the comment section down below, and let's get started. And this first topic can be really depressing for some Sony PlayStation 5 users, mostly because you probably bought an entertainment center specifically for this console. And it's the fact that if you use the PS5 vertically, it has a design flaw that will eventually deteriorate not only the cooling, but potentially the entire system itself. Now, this actually has to do with the fact that if you put the PS5 vertically and the seal on the APU and the cooler break, the liquid metal cooling the system can eventually seep down as it gets hotter and become uneven on the APU, or just go into other components that it's not supposed to be in the first place, which is horrifying. One, because that can just brick your computer and also potentially cause sparks and eventually a fire, not to mention just brick your whole computer in general. And it's depressing because like that, it was one of the selling points. And this, by the way, happens on either the digital or the like standard version of the PS5. So if you have the disc version or you have the digital version, either one can be affected by this just because of the design of the cooling. And overall, it's just sad because like being able to say like you can do it vertically, you can do it horizontally, is just a fun, neat aesthetic feature. I mean, it does look like a spaceship no matter what, but at the end of the day, it's just, you know, something that helps people's preference. And also, innovation in cooling performance is something that we should be applauding all the time, but when it fails like this, it's catastrophic for the most part for most gamers. And so it's unfortunate. It's one of those things that, as most PS5 users now are probably not encountering this issue, but it has happened across multiple types of the device, and also in pretty much every instance of the vertical positioning eventually. So it's just a matter of time. Flip your PS5 back over, don't have a catastrophic failure. Sony has not come out and said that they're going to repair this because they haven't seen it as like a specific feature of this console. It's been mostly local tech organizations that have been like, hey, this is a problem. So we'll see how Sony reacts to this in the future. Just general PSA, save your PS5s now. Now, this is the topic that I found most important today, and it's mostly because I am really brand loyal to these two brands, and for them to come out with this type of product shows a lot of innovation for the future that I think could be beneficial. But also I just love both these brands, so I'm really excited about their new product. And it's Sony and Honda revealing Afeela and their joint EV brand at CES. So for those of you who haven't seen it yet, this is a closer up look of it. It's a really sleek looking car, and the whole point of this car is to mix perfect innovation in AI and UI and UX technologies with Sony, and car innovation with Honda. I mean, Honda is one of the greatest car manufacturers in the world. I have a Honda Civic in my repertoire now. I love my Civic. It's lasted me 110,000 miles-ish right now. My dad has a Honda Civic that's lasted him almost 300,000 miles at this point. My mom has a Pilot that has even more miles on it. Like, Honda is unfortunately not an American-made car, which would make me happy, but a really good car brand. So they make really fucking good cars. Not to mention, Sony is an amazing brand. We've seen it with the PS5. We've seen it with multiple different headphones and other technologies. I mean, all of you probably have a Sony product in your house because they are just good at what they do. They have good products. So just being able to have good UI design with Sony and having good car manufacturing design with just Honda in general, I think this car is going to be really cool. And it's actually like happening. It's not like a prototype car. Like, this thing is going to happen. It's a brand that they've contracted together to make a product. It's very exciting. They also are planning to have 45 cameras in this car to assist with its essentially self-driving 3, I think is what they call it, or autonomous driving 3 capabilities, meaning that it's essentially like super cruise control. You can do it when you're in traffic, so you don't crash into the other car and you don't have to really pay attention in traffic. It's also got like lane placement and stuff like that. Nothing like super crazy like Tesla's self-driving capabilities, which is good. Again, we've had problems with Tesla self-driving, so them moving more towards this and being able to use more software and AI to get better and have this many cameras and just do all this cool stuff, I think is really cool, really forward looking, and I'm just really excited for what Sony and Honda have to offer. And overall, let me know what you guys think. I know Honda is not like everybody's favorite brand. I know a lot of people have loyalties to Toyota and Ford and all those other things. What do you think about this? What do you think about them partnering with Sony to make this car? Do you think it's interesting? Do you think it could be a problem? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm excited about it. And before we head on to the next topic, consider liking this video because we've already talked about some really cool stuff and we got one more great topic for you at the end here. And subscribe if you want to see more episodes of Nerd Cave News or just me playing video games on live streams or news topics that I didn't get to in Nerd Cave News on my YouTube shorts. Just in general, lots of information, lots of cool stuff on the channel for you guys. If you consider subscribing, it'd be really awesome. Thanks. On to the next topic. And the last thing, you know, we've done the destruction, we've done the future. Let's talk about general pettiness. Microsoft is calling the FTC unconstitutional. They essentially just continue to plead with the FTC that all of their points, that Sony's being bitches, that they're being bitches, and eventually people called them out on their shit and said, hey, Microsoft, settle the hell down, just relax. And Microsoft essentially retracted all of the comments that it made against the FTC, but the original comments were,
these proceedings are invalid because the structure of the Commission as an independent agency that wields significant executive power and the associated constraints on removal of the commissioners and other Commission officials violates Article 2 of the Constitution and the separation of powers.
It also is saying that its administrative law justices are appointed by the FTC rather than a judge of the federal and district court systems. And they're just bitching that they're getting attacked. And they're saying that, like, all these other brands are just out to get us, bro. And like, okay, yes. But also, you're doing something that could be considered fucking just for no reason. And so, like, bro, they're just doing their due diligence. They're doing their job. It's what they're there for. Stop whining. Why are companies allowed to whine more than like normal consumers? Why is it that when we whine, it's a problem, and capitalists whine and it's the end of the world? I just don't get it. Anyway, Microsoft is getting called out on their bullshit. Just another chapter in this stupid saga of them trying to acquire Activision Blizzard. And I don't know. We've talked about this too many times, I think, on this channel. Let me know what you think about my coverage and just everything in general about this in the comments down below. And that'll do it for this episode of Nerd Cave News. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really hope that Microsoft decides to stop being petty and that Honda and Sony can beat Tesla, and that you should just not buy PS5s anymore. I guess I don't know what happens with PS5s from here on out. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.